Now, one of the things that is hurting most of SA stock or South African stocks is not only, of course, a high inflation in interest rate hikes, but it is also load shedding. I mean, this is something that, of course, it has been hurting companies, making the companies to put on mitigation measures to try to, of course, reduce the harm or the hurt that this load shedding brings. I mean, we've read a couple of articles from companies saying that, of course, they are having to lose tons and tons of money trying to put in these mitigation measures, of course, to reduce the kind of impact that this load shedding has. I mean, one of the companies or mining companies we've discussed who specifically came out not only in radio but also released articles about the hurt from this load shedding is Sibanye Stillwater, who indicated that due to this load shedding they might end up having to cut their production, which is something that is not good. I mean, this, of course, cutting of production has been, of course, hurting the mining companies. I mean, until March, we've been seeing, of course, companies or the mining production or the production in mining is, of course, dropping for the past 14 times. I think from March, it is when we saw, of course, a recovery in terms of production. But before that, or before March, we saw, of course, production being cut or on a year-to-year or dropping on a year-to-year in the mining sector, which is something that is, of course, making stocks in mining to not perform well even in terms of the share price. Because, ladies and gents, you will notice that most of the companies in the mining sector, they are trading way below, of course, their 52-week low or their all-time highs, which explains why, or which part of the reason why they're doing that, or they're trading so low is, of course, the impact that they're getting from load shedding. But ladies and gents, there are good news that, as I've said, from March we started hearing, or we are starting to hear, meaning that, of course, these kind of news are the ones that I personally believe that, of course, they will revive, of course, companies in the mining, of course, sector or in the mining industry, which makes them to obviously look attractive as well. Some of the companies that probably, if you are looking at companies to buy locally, you might look at them, because, ladies and gents, production is once again, ladies and gents, on an uptrend. Production, it is becoming better, meaning that, of course, even the kind of revenues that, of course, we'll see from the mining companies or the JSE mining companies are going to, of course, recover or become better than those we saw in the previous quarters or in the previous year, which is something that is incredible. But before we dig deeper into this video, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a profit and financial advice video. And I really appreciate if you can just hit the likes button if you do enjoy the content that I'll be giving you about companies that probably you might want to look at right now. And of course, you know that, like I said, this is not financial advice, these are just my opinions, but to me, according to me, these are the companies that, ladies and gents, you should definitely look into, because of course the numbers that are coming out from these industry, they are showing a good sign or good positive signs to say that recovery is here, meaning that, of course, or even the total revenue which they generate is going to also recover, which is a good thing. So if you're enjoying this kind of content, hit that like button, as it also helps with YouTube's algorithm. So without wasting many more of your time, as seen on the screen, notice that, ladies and gents, according to the latest stats, the mining output or production rose by 2.3% year on year, which is something that is incredible. And it also rose, of course, by 1.8 month to month, which is something that, again, it just has to show you the recovery that we are starting to see coming out from these mining stocks. I mean, like as I've said, in March we saw, of course, at least after 14 consecutive drops of mining production, we saw at least a recovery starting from March, which is something that shows you that, of course, it looks like this industry yet again it is recovering, though we still have load shedding amongst our midst, but we are seeing this industry recovering, which is something that is, of course, good. The mining industry, it's one of the industry which, of course, has been doing well, I mean, for the previous years, which obviously getting to see, of course, the head that we witnessed last year and early this year, it is something that is not good. I mean, one of my favorite company stocks or one of my favorite mining stocks like Sibanye Stillwater, they are currently trading very close to their 52-week low. I mean, on Friday when the market closed, they were trading just up or around 33 rands, which obviously it is very close, or that is very close from just the 32 rands, which is their 52-week low, which of course that is not a good thing. So these companies, or companies in this, of course, the mining industry, like Sibanye Stillwater, Anglo Gold, and the others, are set to recover, because production, it looks like, in the mining industry, it is recovering, which is a good thing that will make companies like Sibanye Stillwater to, of course, see also their revenue recover, which obviously chances are that will also revive, of course, their share price, meaning that this 52-week low that we are seeing on companies like, of course, the Sibanye Stillwater, we can expect to see some growth. We can expect to see, of course, some share price recovery, which, ladies and gents, I am definitely going to also prioritize these kind of companies, because I believe that with the recovery, or with the mining production recovery, we are definitely going to see, of course, them also recovering in terms of the share price. I mean, these companies, ladies and gents, not only are they expected to obviously recover in terms of the share price, but you and me can agree that they pay out some good dividends, which is something that, over and above maybe the good gains you might see in the near future from these stocks, you'll still be getting the good, of course, dividends that you get from these stocks. So I'm very excited, and I believe that these are some of the companies that, or this is companies that are just set to recover as we see these figures, or as more and more, of course, improvement or production improvement from the mining sector. We are definitely going to see, of course, this sector also improving, which is something that obviously I cannot wait to see. And definitely this week I'm going to add, of course, on some of my top mining stocks like Sibanye Stillwater. I'm definitely going to load the boat, because I believe that with the, of course, improvement from the production on a month to month will come, of course, an improvement in the total revenues that these companies generate. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I should just give you this quick update. If you enjoyed this video, like I said in the beginning of this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell, so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, it is always good that before you buy any stock, you do your own due diligence, so that at least you don't panic sell. Also, that at least you can be comfortable when you are investing into the stock market. Otherwise, that's all from me. And this week, as I've said, I'll be buying, of course, let me just be specific, Sibanye Stillwater, as it is the one that, even if you are to look at, of course, the precious mining metals industry, you will notice that it is the one, or its PE ratio, it's sitting way below the average of majority of the companies in its industry, which might mean that it is probably undervalued. I know this company had generous pay packages being paid to the CEO and all those kind of news, but nonetheless, I still believe that this is a company which is expected to do very well. Otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.